this carrot is being dangled in front of me, and it's very, very hard for me because my dad and my mom live in St. George. I was raised in a plural family. My father has 2 wives and I have 8 siblings. I worried a lot about being treating us like trash if I told anybody about what my family structure and my religion was. I didn't try out for clubs. I didn't go to sports. My future was altered.
Liar Robyn accidentally exposes secrets from her past. Robyn, quit lying. Your origin traces back to a vulgar romance that was the result of a clandestine affair hidden under the wraps. It wasn't quite within the bounds of a traditional polygamous union, more a tale of a hideous liaison. Your upbringing was under the wing of a stepfather, not within the structured folds of a plural household. Could it be that your messed up mentality towards the OG-13 kids stems from your unresolved daddy issues, given that your father didn't even acknowledge your family or claim you, with you all residing in a separate state altogether? That explains your messed up cloak and dagger thought process, Robert. Once again, just so you lock it in your ears, Robert, the legally wedded wife was kept in the dark about her husband's stealthy domestic arrangements. The legal wife found out years later, to her utter heartbreak, about your mother's existence and her destructive role in the legal wife's marriage. So stop lying, Robert. You upgraded from the extent of wrongdoings of your mom by going one step further and marrying a man who was willing to plot and plan behind the backs of 3 wonderful ladies he exploited for under-the-sheets action when they were young, only to saddle them with an army of beautiful kids that they were now forced to take care of with no support from you and Cody, while you both shamelessly behaved like pimps, financially enslaving, abusing, and taking advantage of 3 hapless women. Also, Robyn, if it scared you so much as a child to grow up in this sort of a precarious situation, why would you put your own little children through it, you selfish bitch? What kind of mother knowingly decides to mar the childhood of her own children by replicating the same kind of uncertainties and fragile environment that the mother herself hated so much growing up in? Additionally, on a different thought, it just dawned on me that back in Utah, Christine's actions were shrouded in financial ambiguity, her own claim raising eyebrows, coupled with the murmurings about her supposedly unreported cash earnings while still claiming benefits. It casts a different light on their hasty departure. Perhaps it wasn't the polygamy statutes that spurred their flight, but the looming shadow of their unethical financial dealings coming to light. That just makes me realize. So their belief system seemingly condones deception towards governmental authorities and manipulation of social welfare services, all in pursuit of the celestial world? It's likely that among the wives, only Robyn saw significant financial backing from Cody. However, in places like Colorado, food stamp programs mandate disclosure of the father's details, potentially prompting child support actions if the state is contributing to the children's upkeep. It appears they're manipulating both the welfare and bankruptcy systems to their advantage. It would be satisfying to see Christine pursue child support from Cody, but that could backfire, exposing her to legal risks for misrepresentations to the courts and welfare authorities. It now makes sense why she opted to sidestep that minefield of child support and independently shoulder the responsibility for truly with David by herself. I wouldn't blame Christine, though, for her past actions. She was a young, naive, indoctrinated woman who did the gullible act of marrying a loser, which forced her into a situation of having to feed 6 young, innocent mouths with no support from Moody. Yeah, Cody. When Cody announces on camera to everyone in TV land that he never loved the OG3, I wonder what him and Robyn expected. Their biggest challenge now is obviously financial. Robyn and Cody are afraid the gravy train will stop completely and they'll have to be standing on a street corner with a desperate sign. Lots of people with better character than them are living in tents or abandoned properties. Who are they blaming for their misfortune? Definitely not their ex-wives. Now, Cody says he's guilty of not being in love with the OG3. Like, that makes it okay? What he was guilty of from day one was of being a con man, just like his soulmate and con woman Robyn. Both of them, from the first day that they ever met each of the OG3s, knew that they were in it to deceive the three wives for their own personal benefit. And they continued playing the cons and living a life of lies with each one of them for what, like the past 30 years as far as Cody's concerned, and 13 years as far as Robyn is concerned. They were in it right from the start to be users and abusers. Imagine the decades of therapy that all of the 18 innocent kids that were caught in the crossfire of Robyn and Cody's misdeeds and who did not choose for this curse of a life to be theirs. Now these kids need to do decades of therapy to help them heal from all the mental emotional setbacks created by Robert and Grady, to make sure it doesn't impact the future romantic relationships and parenting done by these kids in their own adulthood. Seems like each wife's kids will be impacted differently, but also will have to do some work due to Robyn and Cody's treatment, not only towards themselves as kids, but also towards their hapless mothers who did not see this coming. Imagine the long road ahead of them that they must conquer to not normalize all of this mental, emotional, financial abuse and gaslighting, the mountain of internal work that these kids must do to not internalize all these forms of abuse and not in turn inflict such abuse on their own children. The journey to stop this generational trauma, this generational curse initiated by Robyn and Cody and other toxic people like them before this, will be a long and hard one for these 18 children. That's all from me today, everyone. Talk to you another time on another video. Peace out.